Diana, Princess of Wales, was more than just a royal figure. She was a global icon whose untimely death in 1997 sent shockwaves across the world. On the fateful night of August 31st, Diana was involved in a catastrophic car accident in Paris. Despite being rushed to the hospital with severe injuries, she could not be saved, leaving millions in mourning. Reports from the scene described chaos, with conflicting information about her condition adding to the grief and confusion. This tragedy not only shattered her family, but also triggered a wave of questions and conspiracy theories that persist to this day. The loss of Diana, the people's princess, highlighted the devastating interplay between relentless media pressure and the vulnerability of public figures. Recently, her niece, Laura Fellows, and sister, Lady Jane Fellows, have shared new insights into the family's experience, uncovering truths that were hidden for decades. The Spencer family has long been admired for its grace and loyalty, with Diana as its most luminous member. However, her sister, Lady Jane Fellows, played a pivotal role that has largely gone unnoticed. Jane, known for her quiet demeanor and preference for privacy, avoided the spotlight even as her younger sister became one of the most photographed women in the world. Behind the scenes, Jane was a source of strength and stability, offering a steady presence during times of turbulence. Her life changed forever in 1997 when she accompanied Prince Charles and their sister, Lady Sarah McCorquodale, to Paris to bring Diana's body back to the UK. The world watched as Jane carried herself with quiet dignity, becoming a symbol of composure in a time of unimaginable sorrow. At Diana's funeral, Jane's heartfelt reading moved millions, solidifying her role as a pillar of strength within the family. Jane's influence extended far beyond that solemn moment. She became a trusted confidant for Diana's sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, guiding them through the immense challenges of royal life without their mother. Jane's unwavering support for her nephews was evident at key family milestones, where her quiet presence provided a sense of stability. Her daughter, Laura Fellows, further cemented the Spencer family's connection to the modern royal generation by becoming Princess Charlotte's godmother. Insiders have noted that Jane's loyalty and understanding of royal expectations uniquely positioned her to act as a mediator, particularly in addressing the well-publicized rift between William and Harry. In an era where image often overshadows substance, Jane's understated dedication to family unity has become a beacon of hope amid the chaos of royal life. The decision for Jane and her daughter to share their perspectives now appears to be driven by a deep desire to honor Diana's legacy and ensure her values of compassion, integrity, and loyalty remain central to the monarchy. Laura Fellows, Diana's niece, has recounted the harrowing night of her aunt's death with vivid detail. Woken by a phone call from her mother, Laura was devastated by the news and felt overwhelmed by the disorganized and contradictory information coming from Paris. Watching the chaotic news coverage, she struggled with anger and helplessness, feeling that someone as beloved as Diana deserved more than to be reduced to a series of fragmented headlines. This deeply emotional experience fueled Laura's determination to preserve Diana's spirit, championing causes close to her heart and supporting William and Harry as they navigated life without their mother. Despite the official investigations that concluded the crash resulted from driver error and the pursuit by paparazzi, many continue to believe there is more to the story. Contradictions in early reports about Diana's condition, combined with the disarray surrounding the response to the crash, have fueled theories of a royal cover-up. Critics argue that the mishandling of basic details could point to the concealment of more significant truths. Lady Sarah McCorquodale has spoken publicly about her frustration with the lack of clarity and organization in the aftermath, emphasizing the family's struggle to process their grief amidst widespread confusion. The ongoing speculation underscores the tension between the public's demand for transparency and the royal family's need for privacy, ensuring that the events of that night remain the subject of intense scrutiny and debate. Beyond the tragedy, Diana's openness about her struggles within the royal family continues to resonate. She spoke candidly about feeling unprotected and isolated, shedding light on the challenges of life within the monarchy's rigid framework. These revelations painted a picture of a woman fighting to be heard and understood, adding layers of complexity to her public persona. Decades later, her story remains compelling, with many wondering what truths about her life and death might still be hidden. The Spencer family's role in preserving her legacy highlights their own struggles, as whispers of familial tensions and disagreements have surfaced over the years. The ancestral home of Althorpe, with its grandeur and history, symbolizes the weight of the family's legacy, but it also stands as a reminder of the personal sacrifices and emotional burdens they carry. Lady Jane Fellowes' emergence as a quiet but significant figure in the royal narrative underscores the strength of those who work behind the scenes. Her dedication to family unity and her determination to uphold Diana's values offer a fresh perspective on the monarchy, one that emphasizes compassion and humanity over spectacle. Meanwhile, Laura Fellowes' decision to share her story brings new depth to our understanding of the impact Diana's death had on those closest to her. Together, their voices add richness to the ongoing conversation about Diana's life, legacy, and the enduring challenges faced by the family she left behind. Diana's story continues to captivate and inspire, not just for the tragedy of her death, but for the enduring impact of her compassion and resilience. As the Spencer family navigates their own grief and responsibilities, they offer a poignant reminder of the humanity within the grandeur of royalty. In a world increasingly drawn to transparency and authenticity, their reflections serve as a powerful testament to the enduring significance of Diana's life and legacy. The Spencer family's ongoing journey to balance Princess Diana's legacy with their personal lives has often been marked by tension and complexity. The emotional wounds left by their parents' divorce played a pivotal role in shaping each sibling's distinct approach to upholding the family's name. While Diana's marriage to Prince Charles propelled her to unprecedented global fame, it also placed her family under immense public scrutiny. Her siblings faced the challenge of preserving their privacy while being inextricably tied to one of the most iconic figures in modern history. Over the years, Sarah dedicated herself to charitable work, quietly continuing efforts that reflected Diana's compassionate spirit. Jane chose a life away from the spotlight, focusing on her family and private matters. Meanwhile, Charles, as the Earl Spencer, took on the responsibility of managing Althorpe, the ancestral home and Diana's final resting place. Althorpe itself has been a source of both unity and discord within the family. As a site of immense symbolic value, it represents Diana's legacy, but also serves as a focal point for disagreements about how best to honor her memory. While Sarah's close relationship with Prince William and Prince Harry informs her preference for a respectful approach that emphasizes charitable efforts, Jane's reserved nature leads her to believe excessive public engagement could undermine the family's efforts. In contrast, Charles has modernized Althorpe to ensure its profitability, a decision that has drawn criticism and fueled internal debates. These differing perspectives have often created tension, as each family member navigates the weight of Diana's legacy alongside their individual ambitions. The family's challenges extend beyond Althorpe. The strained relationship between Prince William and Prince Harry has become a highly publicized issue, adding another layer of complexity. Sarah and Jane have reportedly expressed a desire for Althorpe to serve as a unifying space for the brothers, reminding them of their mother's enduring spirit. However, rumors of discord persist, with observers noting that even family gatherings often spark heated discussions about the estate's direction. Despite official statements of unity, the balance between honoring Diana's legacy and addressing personal goals remains a sensitive and ongoing struggle for the Spencer family. Among the quieter figures in this narrative is Laura Fellowes, Diana's niece. For years, Laura maintained a low profile, deliberately distancing herself from the media frenzy surrounding her aunt's memory. While she supported family events and contributed to charitable causes, Laura chose discretion over publicity. Privately, however, Diana's tragic death left Laura grappling with profound grief and anger. The tragedy created an enduring sense of loss within the Spencer family, with each member processing their emotions in their own way. Laura's silence was driven by a desire to protect her cousins, William and Harry, from additional pain, fearing that public statements might only worsen the relentless media attention. Feeling overshadowed by the larger narrative surrounding Diana, Laura opted to let other family members take the lead in addressing the public. Over time, as William and Harry took greater control of their personal narratives, Laura began to feel compelled to share her own experiences. Recent discussions about Diana's final hours and the unanswered questions surrounding her death in August 1997 have brought deeply buried emotions to the forefront. Laura now believes that her perspective can provide meaningful insight into the family's struggles and the emotional toll of maintaining silence. Her decision to step into the public eye is rooted not in a desire for attention, but in her love and respect for Diana and her determination to preserve her legacy for future generations. The discovery of Diana's private writings has offered an extraordinary glimpse into her inner world, revealing complexities and emotions that few outside her closest circle ever knew. These handwritten diaries expose the depth of Diana's struggles and the strength she drew upon to navigate a life that often felt suffocating. She wrote about the unrelenting scrutiny of the media, describing the anxiety it caused her, and expressed her frustration with the rigid expectations of palace life, which she felt stripped her of individuality. Despite being adored by millions, Diana often felt deeply lonely, a paradox that resonates through her heartfelt words. The diaries also reflect Diana's remarkable resilience and growth. They chronicle her transformation from a shy, uncertain teenager into a confident humanitarian who used her platform to champion causes that were often overlooked. Her love for her sons, William and Harry, shines brightly in these entries as she details her efforts to shield them from the harsher realities of royal life. One particularly touching passage recounts how she brought her boys to meet AIDS patients, teaching them the value of empathy and the importance of seeing beyond their privileged upbringing. Diana's heartfelt writings reveal her unwavering commitment to instill compassion, kindness, and humility in her children. In addition to capturing her maternal devotion, the diaries delve into Diana's heartbreak and sense of betrayal. She wrote candidly about friendships that faltered under the pressures of public life and the isolation she felt even during her most celebrated moments. However, her strength and determination stand out as defining traits. Refusing to let her pain define her, Diana channeled her energy into charitable work, visiting hospitals, comforting the sick, and advocating for those often forgotten by society. Critics may question the authenticity of these leaked diaries, but those who knew Diana insist they embody her true spirit, a woman of courage, compassion, and a relentless drive to make the world a better place. The strain between William and Harry, once inseparable brothers, casts a shadow over Diana's enduring legacy. Their disagreements have been magnified by tabloid scrutiny, with every interaction dissected for signs of tension. While their shared devotion to their mother's memory should be a point of unity, it has become another source of division. Family members, including Sarah and Jane, have reportedly tried to mediate, hoping to bridge the gap between the brothers. The possibility of Althorp serving as a place of reconciliation remains, but whether it can mend their fractured relationship is uncertain. Ultimately, the Spencer family's story is one of resilience, love, and the enduring weight of Diana's legacy. Their efforts to preserve her memory, navigate their individual paths, and support one another reflect the complexities of a family shaped by both tragedy and tremendous public interest. Through their struggles and triumphs, they continue to honor the spirit of the woman who forever changed the world's perception of compassion and humanity. Lady Sarah McCorquodale and Lady Jane Fellows have been pillars of support for their nephews, Prince William and Prince Harry, in the years following the tragic loss of their mother, Princess Diana. These two women have quietly shouldered the responsibility of offering stability and guidance during a tumultuous time for the royal family. Lady Sarah, with her ongoing commitment to charitable causes, has kept alive the work that Diana was passionate about, such as supporting children's causes and championing charitable organizations. Her efforts provide continuity in a family and an institution that has seen considerable change. Meanwhile, Lady Jane's calm, composed presence has been invaluable in maintaining warm, friendly relations between the brothers and the extended royal family, despite the growing rifts between them. In a time when family relations have become increasingly strained, the presence of these two women offers a reminder that familial bonds can endure even in the face of life's harshest challenges. In recent months, there have been signs of potential reconciliation between the once close brothers. A key moment was when both William and Harry attended the funeral of Lady Jane's husband, Lord Robert Fellows, standing side by side under the same roof to pay their respects. Though it remains unclear whether this marks the start of a deeper reconciliation or simply a shared act of respect for a family member, it certainly underscores the notion that grief and loss can sometimes help mend even the most fractured relationships. The shared experience of mourning their mother, Diana, who passed away in 1997, may yet help heal some of the wounds that have formed between them in recent years. That said, the differences between the brothers remain significant. As the future king, William feels a deep, unwavering responsibility to uphold the traditions of the monarchy. His sense of duty, inherited from previous generations, weighs heavily on him. He is committed to preserving the royal institution as it is, valuing continuity, and ensuring its survival for future generations. In stark contrast, Harry has chosen a very different path, one that prioritizes his family's freedom over the constraints of royal protocol. This choice was made public when Harry and his wife, Meghan Markle, decided to step back from their royal duties and move to the United States. Their decision sent shockwaves through the royal family and the media, further adding fuel to the fire of the brothers' tension. Harry's outspoken criticism of life within the royal family, coupled with his public comments on various matters, has created a rift that is yet to heal. William, by contrast, remains deeply protective of the monarchy and the institution he will one day lead. The tension between their differing views on the monarchy has led to a widening gap between them, and the chasm they now face seems almost impossible to bridge. Nevertheless, there have been fleeting moments of unity between the brothers. A poignant example came in 2021, when both William and Harry attended the unveiling of a statue of their late mother, Diana. The unveiling, a long-awaited tribute to the Princess of Wales, saw the brothers put aside their differences, if only for a brief moment, in honor of their mother's legacy. These occasions remind us that, while their relationship may currently be strained, their shared love for Diana remains a powerful, enduring bond. In fact, their aunts, Lady Sarah and Lady Jane, have continued to work behind the scenes, quietly encouraging peace between the brothers. Their efforts, though not always visible to the public eye, remain rooted in the hope that the family can one day find healing. At the heart of much of the family's turmoil lies the question of Princess Diana's personal story, a story that many believe is incomplete. Over the years, rumors have persisted about unpublished diary entries and letters that might contain Diana's thoughts and feelings during her final years. These writings, if they exist, could shed new light on her struggles, her desires, and her discontent with royal life. Some speculate that Diana's diaries were locked away in secret, perhaps even sealed away in the vaults of Althorpe, her family's estate. Others, however, argue that these documents may have been destroyed or never existed at all. Diana's sisters, Lady Sarah and Lady Jane, have suggested that Diana, feeling isolated and increasingly overwhelmed by the royal spotlight, often turned to writing as a means of coping. They hint that she used writing as therapy, capturing her innermost thoughts and emotions, especially during times when life within the royal family felt unbearable. The idea that Diana, a woman who felt trapped within the institution she married into, may have left behind such private reflections only adds to the mystique surrounding her life. Whether these writings exist or not, the speculation about their contents continues to fuel public interest in Diana's life. Despite the claims from insiders who insist that they have seen these writings, no diary entries or letters have ever been made public. This secrecy surrounding her personal documents has only intensified the debate about whether the royal family is trying to preserve Diana's memory by keeping these writings private, or whether they are attempting to control the narrative around her life in a way that suits their interests. Althorpe, where Diana was laid to rest, is rumored to hold these treasures, but no one outside the family has ever been allowed access to them. The existence of these writings and their apparent concealment raises the question of whether Diana's family is acting out of respect for her wishes, or whether they are protecting the royal image at the cost of transparency. Diana's sisters, particularly Lady Sarah and Lady Jane, are caught in a delicate balancing act. On one hand, they want to honor their late sister's memory and defend her truth. On the other, they understand that stepping too far out of line could invite unwelcome consequences, as the royal family has a long history of controlling its narrative and managing public perception. Diana's niece, Laura Fellows, has recently emerged as a more vocal figure, challenging the silence that has shrouded much of Diana's legacy. Laura, known for staying out of the public eye, has recently spoken out about her aunt's life and the pain that her family endured. Friends of Laura have suggested that her decision to speak publicly comes from a deep desire to clear the air about Diana's life and legacy. Growing up, Laura witnessed the pain her family experienced, and now she wants to share her perspective on her aunt, offering insight into the conflicting stories that have surrounded Diana for years. However, speaking out comes with risks. The royal family has long been adept at controlling its image, and those who stray too far from its preferred narrative often face consequences. Subtle moves, such as quiet persuasion or private pressure, are common methods used by the palace to maintain the status quo. Those who go too far may find their reputations tarnished, invitations to royal events rescinded, or even their access to certain privileges restricted. For Laura, the challenge lies in balancing her commitment to the truth with the need to navigate the complex, often secretive world of royal traditions. Some believe that Laura's efforts are a much-needed opportunity to engage in a more honest and transparent dialogue about Diana's legacy. Her gentle approach, focusing on humanitarian work and the struggles Diana faced, could encourage a shift in how the royal family reflects on her life. But Laura's actions could also reignite old tensions. The monarchy's strict adherence to tradition leaves little room for deviation, and any perceived betrayal of its rules could have lasting consequences within the family. As Laura moves forward with her plans to speak out, it is unclear whether she will publish a memoir, grant an interview, or pursue another form of media engagement. The royal family's response to these actions will be closely watched by the public. Will they respond with silence, as they have in the past, or will they take a more active approach in countering her narrative? Regardless of the outcome, Laura's decisions will significantly impact how the world remembers Diana and her legacy. The ongoing debate surrounding Diana's legacy highlights the tension between tradition and modernity within the royal family. Critics argue that the monarchy's obsession with secrecy is outdated, especially in an era that values transparency and openness. Supporters, on the other hand, contend that keeping Diana's personal writings private is a sign of respect for both her and the royal institution. This debate underscores the complexity of the royal family's position. For Diana's family, the burden of preserving her memory is both an honor and a challenge. They must walk a fine line between protecting her privacy, respecting royal traditions, and dealing with the relentless curiosity of the public. It is a delicate balancing act, and the choices they make will determine how future generations remember Diana's legacy. Will Princess Di's niece's revelations be a bold act of truth-telling, or is there more to her story than we know? Only time will tell.